Okay. And we're reading for Giselle. Okay. All right. All right, that was 5 minutes. Who wants to go first? Sarah, and if you want to do chat, if you can't hear. I mean, if we can't hear you. Okay. Do you want to go first then, Sarah? Put your stuff in the chat, or you want us to ask Rhonda?
Rhonda?
Yeah, why don't you go while you put stuff in the chat? Okay.
Okay. So at first, I asked about children. I picked up no for children, not married, but I feel like you're in a relationship with someone. I saw 5 to 7 years. I feel like that could be significant in the relationship. Although I didn't really ask like I normally do, it just kind of came through. As far as personality, I was picking up that you seem like a loving person, free spirit. Like you're very social, and I also heard you have a good perception of others' intentions. That was pretty, like, the whole sentence. I don't know if that resonates.
I believe that's true. For sure.
I saw you playing a violin.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's a symbol for me for maybe you like music or you play an instrument. I feel like you're a creative person, and that I picked up that you have a lot of goals that you're focused on right now. I also picked up that I don't know if the art kind of came with the creative part that I sense. And I was trying to pick up like employment, and I don't know. I got something in reference to clothing, but that's all I got for the 5 minutes.
All right, that was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. Thank you.
There was something I was going to say. Oh, when you said the relationship, you didn't really ask, but then you got the 5 to 7. I think that's because you always do that.
I always do, right.
Now they just give you both at the same time, so that's cool. All right, let's go and see what Sarah said, and I don't have to write it down because it's already written in here, which is awesome. Okay, so she got something about being into witchcraft. She saw horses. No kids, but she did hear something about 2 kids. So maybe something in the future, or maybe 2 kids around you if they're not your own. Felt excited about something. She said she got a sense of technology. An Arcturian starseed, that's cool. Very smart, artistic, drawing, 4-leaf clover. Okay, nice job, Sarah. Okay, so what I tend to get some general themes usually, and I try to narrow it into more specific stuff. So the first thing, I usually start with an image, and the image I got was like the void, which for me, it means it's that space where there's nothing, but that you have endless possibilities. So not a bad thing, like the space of creating everything and anything. So I saw you in the void, like free. And the message that came with it was you have all of these ideas coming to you that are divinely guided, and you should follow them. So there's an immense amount of success and this ability to create anything and everything. And I feel like you know this and you're already working on it, and you're in that, like, it's almost like an explosion phase. Like it explodes and then you follow the pieces and create from there. So I saw a man. I felt like this was a relationship. Um, he was tall, um, like a not not thin, but like tall and thin, like maybe built though, like a little bit of like built, like not like a skinny guy, like a
Yeah,
solid guy, but not like, I don't know. You think you get what I'm saying?
athletic build, yeah.
He he was light, like fair skin. I couldn't tell if he like had a shaved head or really short hair or it was just blonde, but like not a lot going on top of his head. Um, and really handsome. I saw you guys just in a really comfortable place. Like really, it was really comfortable. I felt like maybe a little bit of agitation there, like a little bit of like, and I couldn't really, but I didn't feel like it was bad. I felt like it was like a comfortable, nice relationship. Maybe like just the day to day stuff sometimes getting in the way. And it felt fun. It felt really fun. Then I also saw you as what I think was you as a little girl in a field of yellow flowers. I think they were flowers, just kind of playing and being free. And there really wasn't anyone else around. I felt like there was someone watching you from like watching their kid play.
Mhm.
I thought it was your mom, but then I thought I couldn't quite grasp onto that. I wasn't sure if it was your mom. Like maybe there was somebody else in your childhood that was like taking care of you, like the bulk, and maybe like I don't know. I felt there was something there maybe with your mom. So that's what I got. And then the timer rang.
My grandma for sure. That is
Oh, okay.
from my past, which is
Okay.
really cool.
All right. So let's go back with Rhonda.
Mhm.
So the first thing she got was no children. Is that true?
True. No
Okay.
children.
And are you married?
Nope.
No. Okay. And are you in a relationship?
I'm not in a relationship, but the person that you picked up on is somebody who I have been seeing for a while. I don't know if like I'm going to be disclosing too much information, but we haven't seen each other due to moving to different cities.
Oh, okay.
So I actually haven't seen him in about 5 months. So
Okay.
could be the
It's
5 that
kind
Ron
of a
was
relationship
thinking.
or no?
Pardon?
It's kind of a relationship or
Yeah, it started off really strong, but I think one of us is having a harder time managing the distance than the other, so drifting.
okay.
But it is very light and playful, as you mentioned.
Okay. So Rhonda also picked up on 5 to 7 years.
So I don't think it's years, but I do think it's months, considering we haven't seen each other in 5 months, and the next time I would be able to see him would be April. So that would be 7 months.
And that's interesting too, Rhonda. Just keep in mind when you said
Yeah.
you didn't say that they were together for 5 to 7 years.
No.
You said 5 to 7 months, 5 to 7.
7 years. I just saw 5 to 7 years, but
Mhm.
it
And you
wasn't
said
like I normally asked how long the relationship, it just popped in. So
and you said 5 to 7 is significant. You didn't say like that's the length.
yeah.
Very good. Cool.
Awesome, yeah.
Okay, and on to your personality. She got that you were a loving person. That'd be a
I
hard one to
don't think so,
deny, right?
yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Social,
I'm pretty social, yeah. A little butterfly.
free spirit.
I am described that a lot, yes.
Okay, and then the good perception of others. I think you kind of validated it when she said that. Yeah.
That is something I actually have a lot of people comment on. Tend to like the moment I meet somebody, I can feel their intentions, and whatever I say always is like a fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very aware of other people.
All right. Now, what about the violin?
Violin, interesting. I played violin when I was younger, but I'm very artistic. I'm in the performing arts. So that also makes sense, just like as a dancer with live music, doing theater, all those things.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay. And then your goals. She says that you're focused on your goals.
Oh yeah, definitely right now is a time where I'm very focused on multiple things. I'm applying to transfer universities and I'm an artist, so I'm constantly creating my own projects outside of managing full-time school. So there are a lot of goals that I do have right now that, yeah, taking a lot of work, but we're getting there.
Right. Awesome. Cool. And then the last thing that Rhonda got was about clothing, some kind of connection to clothing. Not sure if that's related to a job or.
No, not related to a job, but clothing is definitely very important to me. One thing is I'm autistic, so the feeling of clothing is like really significant to my like day-to-day activity. And then the expression through clothing, I am very colorful. I never wear like black or any of that. It's always some really big pop of color. And it's always something I get complimented on by other people too. So it is prevalent to me. Yeah.
Oh, awesome job, Rhonda.
Yeah, you seem to like get like everything that you said. It's something.
Cool. All right, let's go back to Sarah's. All right, what about the witchcraft?
Okay, so I've been practicing for 6 years.
Woohoo!
Horses. Horses, interesting. I don't have a personal connection to horses, but whenever I try to tap into my mom and her spirits, she's always surrounded by horses. So I like associate horses with my mom, who I have a really close connection with. So that's what I draw onto horses. As to the kids, like I said, no kids. 2 kids. That's interesting. I'm the youngest of 4. My brother is my best friend. Maybe that's that dynamic. I have 1 nephew, but I also am told I have a lot of child spirits around me because my love is of children and my mom was an early childhood educator and I plan to do things with kids too. Also, the things like I've done before, like dance shows, are always involved with other children and working with them through performance. So that's exciting to hear. I love hearing that I have kids around me.
Yeah, nice.
Um, Felt excited. I'm currently excited about many things, but like I said, many of those goals, you are really right. I tend to manifest everything that I want into reality. I have like a very blessed connection with that. So I do get very excited, even though there's a lot of doubt, of course, because I'm human. But yeah, many goals on the way right now. Technology. Okay. I actually have a fear of technology. It's like yeah, I've always had a weird paranoia growing up as a kid that has like continued into today about like surveillance and technology. So maybe that's what you were picking up on. Um, I'm not sure about that one. Sarah, do you want to confirm? Like the type of energy that you kind of got off of technology, whether it was light or heavy? I see. Well, yeah,
It
I
was a
am.
metal, like that's a very cool way to describe that. Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of funny because I'm told by a lot of people I'm like a robot or the way that I just am and function, which is interesting that I'm told that a lot. And the metal kind of like spoke that to me. I am very smart. I don't know how to confirm that, I have a 4.1 GPA. Yeah. So I'm really into studies and learning is my passion. So I'm constantly trying to read books and go through them really fast and all that, like a robot in a sense. She's artistic, yeah. I've always done arts my whole life, like since I was 4. So that's continued on. I'm studying currently as a film production student. Shamrock. I have no connection in particular to a 4-leaf clover. Hopefully that means good luck though.
Yeah, and it's something, it's a symbol for Sarah at some point, like,
hmm
you know what I mean, Sarah? Probably a symbol for you that we just don't know what it means yet.
hmm
Maybe we'll get that. Oh, maybe she's typing something. No. Okay.
Yeah, but that was really accurate as well. Thank you.
Okay, so I think the first part, that black hole expansion, you already validated that. The
Mhm.
relationship, you already validated that.
I also want to say about the black hole, how I'm described by a lot of people is like everyone's here on Earth and they see me just floating away. And like when you said the void, that's kind of how I imagine like this eternal space that I'm in a lot of the time, like one foot in the form, one foot in the formless. So I really resonated with that. And I often call it the void too. So I was like,
Oh,
oh,
you do? Okay. I
yeah.
wasn't sure because it could be scary to certain people, like
Mhm.
like a black hole, like you're going into like, and it wasn't a scary thing. So I'm glad that that resonated with you. Um, and then I think you confirmed this, that agitation,
Mhm.
that relationship could be that peace,
Yep.
that distance, that space that you're experiencing right now. Like it's good, but it's not good because,
It creates the emotional block.
right,
Can't be
right.
fully
So that
truthful.
makes sense. And I think too, okay, so the little girl in the field of flowers, and you said that was your grandmother.
Mhm.
I think I was also picking up, I think you mentioned your mom isn't here
Mhm.
anymore.
My mom is, she's still
Okay,
alive, but my grandma did like
grandma.
raise my first 8 years of my life.
Okay. All right. I don't know where I thought you said that your mom wasn't here. Maybe you mentioned your grandmother passed, but don't tell us. We'll see what we pick up on when we get to mediumship. Okay. Anything else, guys, that you picked up that while we were talking? No?
I think it would be cool if you guys felt anything about school or work, because that's a place where I'm really a bit confused, or even this relationship. If you have any awarenesses now with the information that I told you, of course, take a second.
Yeah. I have cards too. I'm going to put the cards up. Okay, hold on. Here it is. Oh, those aren't the right cards. Hold on, let me grab the right cards. Here we go. Okay, so this is from the Enchanted Map deck. All right, so 3 cards, and I asked general questions. What does she need to know today? And you guys can see it?
Yep.
All right. So keeping in mind, she's interested in work in school, but anything that comes to you is fine. And Sarah, if you want to put your stuff in the chat. So we will set the timer for 5 minutes and then come back and see what we got. Any questions before we? Okay. Okay, that was 5 minutes. You guys ready? Rhonda, you want to go while Sarah types her stuff in? Does that work?
Okay. So for the first, the balancing act card, I feel like I get the sense of you juggling in between these goals that you have. And I heard you need to spend some time, to kind of focus on one or two goals at a time so that you don't get overwhelmed. I feel like you love stimulation. You think about things a lot, and you do things. Your brain constantly keeps moving, and which is good. I'm kind of like that too. So you have a lot of things that you want to do, but you need to kind of take some time out to just pick one or two at a time to focus on. Don't forget to take some time out, to have fun, relax, just kind of download from the mental activity. Coming apart, just that particular card makes me think about the relationship piece. As soon as I saw it, not in a bad way. I feel like you're both are not really focused on each other right now. And I think, I know you mentioned the distance, and I think that plays a big part, which is one face looking one way, one face looking the other.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes distance, does bring people closer together, but it takes a lot of patience on both parts. And I feel like, which person, one might not be as patient as the other. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know if it's you or if it's him. But I do see, I do still feel that you both are going to be communicating and connected in the future. It's just going to take some patience to get through, to maneuver the situation. The last card with the movement, I feel like this just correlates to just your overall situation. I know you had asked about, school, your career. To me, I don't know if is that an ostrich or a stork? I don't know what kind of bird it is, but
I think it is an ostrich.
I feel like you're moving in the right direction with this card. It may not be in the speed that you like, but especially with that type of bird, I think. And then I see that the air balloon, like all the elements I see in this card are like, okay, there's movement, but it's kind of slow, which is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is that water? I also feel like it's water. So just relax, continue to stay focused, which I know you are, and keep moving forward, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it seems like, oh, this is taking forever, sometimes, things take time to progress, but I see you moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't
all
know
that
that was
is
water either,
Mhm.
but it is water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely water. Awesome. Sarah, I think your audio's working. Maybe? Can you hear us? Maybe not. Okay, so in the chat, did she put anything? Let's see. Okay, so she says, for the first card, the woman seems coy, state clearly what you want. Oh, okay. So we were
Mhm.
talking about manifestation earlier. State clearly what you want. Second card looks like lungs. The
True.
heart is sad. The solar plexus is being cleansed. Feels like a message for her, but not apply to you. But I think that applies. Like, I think it's could apply to you too.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I don't think you would have gotten it in this setting. But with work, she sees a big skyscraper and a huge bust of energy coming down very fast, but she doesn't know what it means.
Interesting.
Nice job. I was
Mm.
kind of excited. I thought Sarah's audio was working. It looked like it was.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Okay, so what I got for the first card, I got a splitting off, like compartmentalization of responsibilities. Like I have X, I have Y, and I have Z, and they were all separated. Like I have to do it this way for this responsibility, this thing for that responsibility. And I felt like part of the problem is thinking about it all as separate things and not as like all together. And if you can shift your perspective and like this is everything, like in one bucket, looking at all of it together could help you bring it into balance more so it doesn't feel so overwhelming and you're not focusing too much on X versus Y versus Z. Because you can do it all. You have the time, you have the drive, the focus to manage it all. It's just how you're splitting it off right now.
Mhm.
All right. So that was the only thing that was like work related, school related, and everything else was relationship related that I got. So I looked at these three together. And in the first card, I felt like somebody is like trying to walk away or wants to walk away, but doesn't really want to, like looking back and like seeing the love like spilling out, like not spilling out, like going away, but like it's so big, like you're not able to walk away. I also felt like this is an opportunity. The relationship is a really good opportunity, a lesson in vulnerability.
Mhm.
And it's an opportunity to really open up that vulnerability, even if it feels a little bit like scary or uncomfortable, to use it as a lesson for how to open up, whether or not it's in this relationship or something else. Um, if you notice in that first card, she almost looks like she's on the back of something. And she
Mhm.
looks like if she looks over her shoulder anymore, she might fall out.
Mhm.
And that vulnerability sometimes feels like, oh my God, like what's going to happen if I say the wrong thing but if she falls, she's going to be caught on that bed of clouds, which is
Mhm.
like supported by angels. That's how I interpret that. So that's what I got off of that card. I felt like I also see the lungs in that other one. It's like vitality and are at your very core, the lungs are key to everything, right? Your connection to everything. But both of these people are turned away from each other. It's like that vulnerability I was talking about isn't there, but one person's eyes are covered and can't see or won't see, but the other is trying to look up. But there's this thread that's weaving you together. And so I feel like that light in between, like that's what needs to be cultivated to bring it together.
Mhm.
And it's like this beautiful, if you can look at it that way, as this beautiful time to really practice to really end up coming together. Um, so, oh, I see a portal of space. So there's that in between the two faces. That's where I see the portal.
Mhm.
There's a portal too underneath. I don't know if this is a boat on that first card, but there's like a portal. It's a bubble, but that's like a portal there. And then you can look at that water reflection as a portal. So there's a portal on every single one of these cards of space in which to repair the situation. So, but it requires you to both think outside the box to move it forward. And it's focused. So I saw the ostrich as a firm foundation. That's what you built, like a firm foundation that's a little wobbly right now and walking like slowly on those legs, but you have the foundation, so it doesn't matter. And I saw like the first thing that stuck out was that balloon, but I saw it as a heart. I didn't see it as a balloon at first. Like when I first looked, I'm like, oh, well, this is great. They're moving forward in this relationship. So I felt really good about it. I really felt good about it. And 28 really stuck out to me. We're in February. I don't think this is a leap year either. I feel like there could be movement either in February or like soon, like not, like it's not going to be forever. If you're thinking outside the box, like how can we fix this? Yeah. Okay. That's what I got. Okay.
That all resonated a lot. I think you were
Yeah.
all like really tapping into my situation.
Yeah.
With the balancing act, Rhonda, you're definitely right. My brain is always stimulated. It's hard to, like, I don't know what silence is in the brain. Like, I just don't know what that is. I'm constantly like thinking and contemplating things. And also the feeling of like not putting like seeing all my goals together as one is very true. I do like be like, okay, I need to do this like this way, this thing like this, as opposed to being like, this is the whole of what I need to complete. And that tends to pull me in different directions and puts me in an unbalanced state. So that makes a lot of sense as well. And the woman seeming coy, that's true. I'm not being really direct with what I want exactly. And I feel like that could be in relation to the coming apart. I really resonated with the one person trying to walk away but feeling bound. That is how I feel in this connection, trying to leave something that obviously isn't serving a purpose right now, but feeling like a spiritual tie. So the wording of like portals, that is definitely something that resonates because I feel like I'm in more psychic communication with him than actual communication. Really intense dreams and songs or poems that he like sent me that would just pop up out of nowhere as of recent. So as much as I try to move apart, it's like I'm getting signals from angels and divine being like, stay here, like hold on just a little longer. There's something. And yeah, it does make my heart sad. It is a bit challenging, but it's also, I've seen this as an opportunity to look at what wounds have been triggered and to expand the vulnerability and the heart space that I hold for myself over others. So that coming apart, I feel like is also a reflection. Like coming apart and balancing act feels like a matter of two, you know? So I feel like I'm really emerging out of this self that was very tied and bound to what certain ideals of love and relationship looks like. And this is really helping me transform even the love and relationship I had with myself and moving forward into a new version of myself, if that makes sense. And third card, movement. I think that's a good sign as well. I resonated with a lot of what you guys were saying. Very slow. Everything has always, this last year is very, very slow. But I understand that when things move slow, they create a solid foundation because nothing's in a rush. So I've always been a very fast-paced person, and that's a lesson that I've had to learn a lot this year, is things work out more in your favor when you take them slow. There's no need to rush the process. And I think it's also very sweet that you saw the air balloon as a heart, because that's how I first saw it too. So I think that's cute. And my birthday's also the 28th, 28th of June. So 28 is a number that really resonates with me always. And I see it too as the completion of a cycle because 2 and 8 is 10. So it's kind of like the closing of a chapter. So the balancing act coming apart in movement to me just seems like, yeah, this is the state that I've been in for a long time. And I'm finally choosing what path of how to handle things because I'm too overwhelmed. And that's completing kind of this sporadic cycle of not listening to my body, just listening to my thoughts more than what I require.
Mhm.
So I think you are all like, you all hit the nail on the head, and talk to different parts of me completely.
Awesome. Did anybody have anything specifically they wanted validated, or did that cover everything for you guys? Okay. Rhonda, you're good? I saw Sarah's head shake. I'm good. We're all good. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move on to mediumship and see if we can connect to any spirits. So before we do that, I'm just going to ask anyone have any questions before we do that? I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. I'm going to put everyone on mute and we'll come back in 5 minutes. Okay. All right, that was 5 minutes. You guys ready? Okay. Rhonda, you ready? You want to go first while Sarah types hers in?
Yeah. Okay. I picked up a male energy. I feel like this could be, if it's an older male, like a grandfather, possibly. I heard tough cookie. I felt like this person had a hard outer shell. Like he seemed like he was authoritarian, like he didn't play. But then I feel like on the inside, he had some warmth in the inside. I heard tough lessons. Like he was a person that would teach you things, not to try to do them the right way, so that to avoid having problems, something in that degree. I feel like I saw him cleaning. I felt like he liked things in order. And I felt like he could have been a member of some type of organization. I don't know what organization, but that's what I was picking up. I also saw this person sitting in the chair smoking a pipe, which I feel like this is something that he liked to do, or, you know. I was picking up a female. I think I feel like this person was married to someone for a long time. And I think this person, the female energy was trying to come through, but it was so much coming through for the male energy. I couldn't focus on the female. I got the number 23. I don't know what that means.
Oh
I
my
felt like
God.
it could have been 23 years that they were together, something significant with 23. I also saw this person being in the woods. I don't know if they, something to do with deer, hunting deer.
Was the female or the male?
The male.
All right.
So
I just
I
wanted to clarify.
was pulling in the female, but he's really strong. He just kept going with
Same guy.
carving wood. I don't know if they like to, you know,
Same guy.
something with a knife or carving. Then I heard the words, I hope I wasn't too rough. I seemed like this person could have been kind of rough in their teaching, but I think they just wanted you to be strong. But I feel like this person really wanted to come through to show love. I felt the female, but I didn't have enough time. I felt like they were connected though. So that's all I got.
That's awesome. And I feel like I got the same person. Okay, so let's see what Sarah came up with. Let's see. I didn't see anything, Sarah. Did I miss it? No? Pass?
She's still typing.
Oh, you're still typing. Okay, so I'll go. So let me go back here. Okay, so I saw a man and he was a big man, like really big, like super tall, big hands, like a big, strong man. I saw him also like on a farm type situation, but also like with the wood, like cutting wood. He had a hammer in his tool belt, and I don't know if that was like just a symbol for me, like this guy would like to be outside. He was wearing overalls. He didn't look super old, but he like was older, and I couldn't tell if he was grandfather on, I think it was mom's side, or uncle, but some like I don't know. At first I felt grandfather, then I was second guessing myself, thinking uncle. I had mom's side written down first, then I felt dad's side, but then so maybe I had two different people. I'm not sure. He loved working with his hands. He loved being outside. He was happy to be a hard worker. Like it wasn't like resentful that he had all this work to do. But then I saw the gentle side. Like I saw him with a chick in his hands, like a newborn, newly hatched chick. And then I saw him with a baby pig, like with the bottle. Like I saw the side, like that tender side. And this is what he had to say. Can you let go of all your goals, the people and responsibilities, and just focus on the simple things, which I think goes hand in hand with the chicks and the pig and like working on the farm. And he said, I've been pushing you there. In the simplicity of life comes the biggest transformation and the fulfillment of all that you want, need, desire, and deserve. That's what he said.
That really resonates. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy. Cool. Very cool.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I asked if anyone there for Giselle, and I heard Jesus. I love that. I didn't really want to see or feel an entity, but I saw a turtle with a flower on his head. I saw
Oh
candles.
my
These
God.
were the candles, and it was 3 candles. I got the sense of an old lady, something with the lungs, which came up before, or the throat, and then I tried to make a strong connection, but felt there was negative entity. The old witch, and this might be an energy or entity that is trying to mess with you. I don't
Wow.
think so. Okay, so
Really, really interesting.
yeah, let's go back. Let's start with Rhonda, and then we'll do.
Okay.
Okay, so Rhonda got. I gotta go back. The man, grandfather, the tough cookie, the hard outer shell, authoritarian, but warm on the inside.
And also the number 23, right?
The 23. Tell us about the 23.
So very crazy. The last 3 months, I see 23 or 323 everywhere, 32. And it's driving me like bonkers because I don't know what someone is trying to tell me. And I always seem to get like ringing in the ear when I see it. So I know a download is trying to be sent to me to acknowledge something. So the fact that you said that just is like a hyper like awareness of the fact that my angels are with me. And when I see that number, it is very significant.
Well, I wonder if that is this person, if it is your grandfather or whoever that is, it's that person, like that's Rhonda came through with that. Who that is, what's happening when you see it. That's what I get from it too.
Yeah, like I definitely believe that. And as for the man, there are a few people who came to mind that kind of got more clarified with what Elizabeth was saying. I was like, if you guys are tapping into the same person, then I know for sure who this is. But so I have a spirit guide who goes by the name of George, and he looks like he's from like the 1920s. He's very tall, skinny, and smokes a pipe. And he was my first spirit guide that I come into contact with about 6 years ago. And I really feel his presence. And I know his presence is hyper aware in my awareness when I'm actually like involved with men doing anything, doing work of sorts. I feel he brings me a level of energy where I'm no longer intimidated. But at the same time, you could have actually been picking up on my grandfather, who I did not have a close relationship with because both my parents are immigrants. This grandfather was in Mexico. So I never really had a close relationship, or there was a communication barrier because he didn't speak English, but he was a tough cookie, like very tough, very like strict. Once again, working with hands, carpentry, like my father's only has brothers, right? So it was very like had the boys in shape, and for organization, like you said, attached to a group or something. My family has cartel affiliations on that side of the family, which is why he is a very heavy, strong, like this is the way you do things type of man. And you having that sigh of release, I was like, you really felt that. Yeah. But Elizabeth,
Your dad's side.
That's my dad's side. But you were also picking up on somebody, Elizabeth. But for the woman that you were picking up on, I also think Rhonda, I think that was my Willa, which was my grandmother on that side. She passed away. They actually passed away. She passed away first. And the doctors said 2 months later when he passed away, it was from heartbreak. He was so old and fragile that he couldn't take it. And they were married for years, like
Okay.
over 40, 50 years. So, that was.
Yes. I really think she was trying to come through with him.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm also told, so this is really interesting too, because with what Elizabeth was saying before about this flower field, right? When she first came to me, like when I started connecting with spirits, she was in a field of yellow flowers and it was just me and her. And she always would just say, mi niña, which is like my baby girl type of thing. And I do feel both their presence with me very closely because they never had a girl. And when I was born, they were like, that's our daughter type of thing. Like they just felt a connection to me. So I do feel their spirits with me a lot. And I'm always drawn to Mexico and such because I know that they're really close with me. So that's incredible that you picked up all of that. Elizabeth.
Hey, hold on one second. I just want to make sure, Rhonda, was there anything else specifically that you wanted validated? I feel like I went through and checked off everything.
No, I think she validated everything. It's interesting, the smoke in the pipe. I think that's
I love that.
wow.
You did
Mhm.
awesome.
But
Really good job.
Yeah, that was like crazy spot on. So that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to make sure we got everything before.
yeah.
Of course. So Elizabeth, the person you picked up on, he's a grandfather figure to me, but he's my uncle's dad. And
Okay, so that's
from
my
my mother's side.
from your mother's side. Okay,
So
that's
like uncle-in-law, but
Okay.
he's been around since I was 8 years old. And once again, something that's a recurring thing with me, like I have communication barriers between these figures because both my parents are immigrants and I don't know native tongue from their like Croatian and Mexican. And he passed away on Christmas recently. And he is from Lika in Croatia, which is a village. And the only photos I've seen of him are him in overalls and working on the farm. Yeah, he was.
I almost didn't write down overalls because I thought like,
Yeah, so random, but very true. Worked on the farm his whole life, and there's somewhere called the Enchanted Forest, which was right next to his village, where there was so many myths and folk of like goddess spirits, werewolf men. Like they genuinely believe the folk tales. Like villagers are like, I've witnessed this, and it was actually in that village where I first like connected with a spirit, where I was like, what am I seeing? What is this? So that's a very sentimental place to me. It was like a spiritual awakening. So I think it's really beautiful that you picked up on that space. What else? Yeah, he was a craftsman. Everything was done by him, all the furniture, all the hard work, everything. And it's interesting, after he passed, I never really like tied this correlation, but I've been looking into volunteering somewhere like in a different continent for the summer to work on a sanctuary, to work on a farm. And that came out of nowhere for me because I literally had the thought like, I need to reconnect with the simple things of life. So you saying that literally like gave me chills.
that's from him.
Yeah, for sure. And he would always just like look at me and shake his head and tell my mom like, you're overworking her, like she needs to take a break. And like we could never talk. I could never tell him about what was going on in my life, but he would always just say like, she works too hard. So that's like a connection right there. And remind me, is there something else that you said that you want clarification
No,
on?
no, I feel like you got everything. It was just the message after that, which you already validated. It's perfect. That was
Mhm.
awesome. Thank you.
And I think it's really cool that you fully got like the connection, like the uncle, grandfather, mom side. Like that was really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was confusing a little because I was like, no,
Mhm.
like grandfather, but no, it's uncle. So that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like the big man that you were seeing, that's my uncle. He's like big, tall, like fat guy. Like we love him. Like, yeah. I asked if there's anybody. Okay, so this is really interesting. This is like a weird little story, but I tend to have a lot of people in my life who are schizoaffective or schizophrenic. And they all tell me that Jesus is with me or I'm the Virgin Mary. I've also had a random man on the street who is like a local man in the area who people are aware he's schizophrenic paused me one time while I was walking down the street in the summer to tell me that I'm the Virgin Mary. So hearing that I'm like Jesus, like also funny. Everybody says my type that I'm into are people who look like Jesus, which is just funny. Um, didn't really see or feel an entity, saw a turtle with a flower on its head. I literally talked about this with my mentor the other day, but I'm considering going to Hawaii for that workaway trip. And it was turtles that the two of us saw. And then you said a flower on its head. So I think that's really cute. That's really fitting. And that tells me I'm working in the right direction. I also tend to, when I'm asking for a sign from spirit, my go-to is to always ask for a turtle. So that's really relevant. I saw candles, birthday candles. I think it was 3 candles. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm not, maybe if I think about it more, it'll come to me.
Yeah. And maybe it's something that'll hit you in the future. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is-
I got the sense of an old lady, something with the lungs or throat, and then I tried to make a stronger connection, but I felt there was a negative entity. Okay, so ever since I began my journey with witchcraft, there's a woman who follows me who I have I'm clairvoyant, so I do connect with spirits and I visualize them. She's an old witch and she does not have good intentions, but she's also not there to harm me. She's there to show me consequence. So it's like she comes as a reminder saying, you have a choice right now to act how you want to. And it's like she sits there like beating her stick on the ground. Like I always see her in a rocking chair.
Hmm.
She is nasty. It's like almost like old ballet teacher type of like, don't mess up. Don't mess up, right? So it comes to me as a warning sign. Her nastiness is like, be aware right now, like use your judgment. So I think that's really cool that you picked up on her because she's wild. She's been following me forever. Can't get rid of her. So I do think she's a part of my team in some way.
Yeah. Awesome.
That was awesome, guys.
Yeah, that's really good. Sarah, did you have anything else? You're good? Okay, perfect. All right. So let's shut it down. So for me, I just like to brush off the energy. Thank you so much, Giselle, for sitting with us today, sharing your energy. We lovingly cut all energetic cords and return to you with love and gratitude. And so I will send out the recording. I'll email it to you either later today or tomorrow.
Mhm.
And thank you so much. It was so nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you
Learn
guys so
about
much.
you.
Alrighty.
Okay, anything, any last thoughts? Okay, let me stop.